Welcome to another episode of Sports and Discourse with your host, Derek Stevenson. And on today's episode, we are going to talk about what I considered a must-win victory for Kentucky. Kentucky edged out Oklahoma just barely 83-82. And I'm going to tell you the truth, I was extremely worried at the end of this game. I went into the game, I was very confident that Kentucky could beat Oklahoma. But Oklahoma put up a nice match. They fought to the end. They played good enough to beat Kentucky. They shot 53% from the field and 40% from three. So, yeah, man, I can't say they didn't deserve to win. Kentucky played an okay game. Usually, like we've been pointing out, when Kentucky shoots 50% from the field, which they did, and over 30% when they get to like close to 50% from three is usually when we see their best game. When they shoot under 30% is when they kind of play bad, and they shot right at 30% from three. But the reason why obviously we call this a must win is because we know that we don't have guys healthy, so we got to try to we got to basically baby our guys through the rest of the season. We can't, we can't exert them too much. We have to try to rest and preserve them as much as we can. Of course, I'm talking about guys like Jackson Robinson, who, he's having some trouble with his shooting hand. We talking about Lamont Butler with his shoulder, and we talking about Andrew Carr with his back, Kerr Kriisa with his foot. And Kerr Kriisa hasn't even attempted to play yet, but the other three guys are trying to work their way through it as best as they can. And Butler and Robinson both came out and gave it as good of a shot as they could. Fortunately for us, Butler didn't seem to re-aggravate his shoulder. He did foul out of the game, but he gave us some nice quality minutes. Obviously, he made an impact as soon as he was back. And the same with Robinson. Robinson he started off kind of cold. Then he had a moment where he kind of started to almost take over the game, if you will. And then he kind of cooled off a little bit. But he gave us some key minutes as well. And we need those guys. He didn't play the second half. He came back out of the locker room, had his hand wrapped up with a big ice bag on it. So we knew he was not going to attempt to play. And, the Oklahoma gave us a match. But, of course, we got to talk about it. Otega Oweh, a.k.a. Otegatron, basically put Kentucky on his back and willed us to victory. This dude went absolutely berserk at the end of the game. I think he may have scored it was something ridiculous. I think he scored like 18 straight points or something. I mean, it was just it was so crazy. I can't even keep up with what it was. But every time down the court, Otega basically said, "Give me the ball, move out of my way, and watch me work." And he was making good stuff happen. He was scoring. He was getting to the foul line. He was getting and ones. I mean, dude just basically said, "Step back, and I'm going to get the victory for us." And let's get into some of these highlights so we can watch some of what he did. But overall, like I said, it wasn't the greatest win for us, but we still did get the W. Like I said, we have to get the W against LSU and hopefully against Missouri, because I'm anticipating that we may lose to Auburn. Hopefully we can give them a good shot. If we beat Auburn, book it, we're automatically going to probably be a 4 seed in the tournament. But, we got to try to lock up some of these other victories just in case, because it could get ugly with Auburn. But anyways, my bad. Let's get into these highlights, like I said, and watch our guy Otega try and work, man. But overall, man, like I said, Oklahoma played a good game. But I was glad to see Otega try and go crazy, have one of those you know, I ain't gonna say he felt the same way about Oklahoma as probably like DJ Wagner and Adu and Big Z did coming back to Kentucky. I don't know if you know if there was a big deal made about him coming to Kentucky as much as it was them guys going to Arkansas. But I was glad to see him get this one off at his old stomping ground. I mean, because, there was a little bit of chirping back and forth with some of the players on Oklahoma. Overall, it seemed like Otega still gets along with most of the guys on the team, but there was a couple that was trying to, bully Otega a little bit, and Otega just stepped up and decided he was going to take over the game, and he did. Let me see exactly what he ended up with. He ended up with 28 points, and I mean, like I said, he went crazy, 12 or 21 with 6 rebounds. He just took the game over, man. He just was not going to be denied victory. We also got some good minutes from Brandon Garrison. He played really well this game. I think he hit 2 threes maybe. Yeah, he was 2 for 3 from 3. So Brandon Garrison, he played 27 minutes and he was pretty productive. Like I said, Lamont Butler kind of had he almost pretty much had a normal game for him, except for he didn't score 10 points. He only ended up with 7 points, but he had 6 assists, 4 rebounds, 5 for 5 from the free throw line. So Lamont Butler, in 20 minutes of play, he was able to get a lot of stuff done. He was doing what we anticipated. He was playing physical, driving to the basket, bullying people like he normally does, like you see right there. Just move people out the way, get to the glass. But I'm just glad that he didn't re-aggravate his shoulder, because he did take a couple of hard falls. We can't really keep Butler, from hitting the ground. He just plays too hard. He attacks. He goes to the air, so he usually hits the ground, and we have to gasp for air at least once or twice each game. But Kentucky was doing some nice ball movement. It was some nice passes for some cuts to the basket. We just see Kobe Bryant hitting the jumper right there. Kobe didn't really shoot that great. It was like 3 for 10, but he was rebounding pretty good, actually. So he ended up with 7 rebounds. I think he was the leading rebounder tonight. So that's good to see that even though he only had 9 points, he was still working hard on the glass. And there he is again, tacking. And I think that's what Kobe needs to look to do some more. I know he's a great shooter, but instead of settling for jump shots, sometimes he just needs to go on and attack the rim. And there's Garrison with one of his 2 threes. Like I said, he hit 2 or 3. I think he's hit 9 or 10 on the season. So every now and again we can expect one from Garrison. But Garrison played good, man. And there's Kobe again attacking. And I like to see Kobe in attack mode, man. I think it's going to open up his game, his long range game, when he shows more of his versatility, more of his ability to get in the middle. Ain't nothing wrong with a good mid-range jumper. Garrison actually has a nice looking jumper, man. Like, if Garrison really works on his shooting, he may have a shot at the NBA as well, because he does have, he's a decent passer. He might have to get a little bit better on defense, get a little bit more aggressive on the boards. But he looks like he could develop into being a really decent shooter. And that was a nice pass right there, and a nice knockdown jumper from Travis Perry. Like I said, I'm glad to see Perry, Noah, Almanor get some more minutes, because like I said, we're going to need them. And there's Butler attacking the basket, which opens it up. Carr sitting there waiting, and then Carr made a nice fake pass to get a good open look. But a lot of that just is from Butler being able to go past his man and attack the rim. And like I said, Otegatron was just going crazy, man. Otega was just not, and there was a lot of times, honestly, where Otega maybe could have got some fouls called that wasn't called. But that's just how it goes sometimes. That was a crazy block right there. Kentucky did end up with like 4 blocks, I believe, which usually they don't protect the rim that well. But like I said, I think Garrison could end up being a really nice big man. I hope that he sticks around. I hope he stays at Kentucky. I do think he's got nice potential. It could be a big help to us next year. Because I just kind of feel like having freshmen, even top tier 5-star freshmen, is not going to be enough to win the championship if they're your main guys. I want to see, 2 or 3 of the freshmen come in and be able to play alongside of some veterans and just be solid contributors, but not have to lead the team. That was a nice cut by Amari for the dunk. Like I said, a lot of what Butler was doing, just being on the court, being able to get around some guys, was opening it up for other people. And that's what we have been missing in some of those games, man. When he's not out there, we just are very limited with how we can attack the rim. It's really only Oweh that can do it. Oweh was making some strong moves tonight too, man. Like Oweh was really using his strength. He was moving guys out the way and getting some of his shots. And some of this, if you looked at it in real time, I mean, he was punishing some of his defenders. Like I said, he's going to the basket. He probably could have got a foul call right there. But he was just playing strong, man, and he just decided he was going to take the game over and wasn't going to be denied. And then right here, he's just way too fast for their big man to recover. At that point in the game, if I was a big man, I would have tried to slide over and foul him. I wouldn't have let him get that easy one. But he was making these type of plays all night, man. So it's just when he's doing that, it's just not much you're going to be able to do, because those are just big boy plays where he's just like, I'm going to the basket, and whoever's in my way is just going to have to get moved around. And that's what he did pretty much, for the rest of the game. He just, like right here, that move was crazy. And that just goes, to me, that was just him reading the defense. Kentucky, Kentucky's offense, I know everybody's looking for the picks and the backdoor cuts, but that was just him just understanding that the defense wasn't paying attention, and he makes the backspin, goes to the basket, finishes with authority, and that's just the type of time he was on all night. Like he had something to prove to his old team. I don't know if he has any beef with them or not, but like I said, he was making his presence felt right there. Another move where he just used his strength to create the space. Like he gives the guy the nice strong spin move, bumps the guy off his spot, and gets some room for the nice little floater. And I feel like this is what I've been wanting. Like, don't get it twisted. Otega has played he's probably been the most consistent player we've had all year. But this is what I was kind of expecting, this type of mentality the whole entire season. And like I said, maybe it's just because he's playing his old team, but I feel like it was something different in his eyes tonight. Like he was a little more hungry. He was a little more confident. That was a nice pass by Amari too. Amari is a really nice passer, man. Like Amari sometimes is going to drive you insane because Amari going to throw up some wild shots here and there. Amari might over dribble a little bit, but Amari, he going to make some sharp passes. Like that's one thing you can count on. Amari going to see some people. He got some good court vision. He going to get some guys a couple of nice looks. I was a little worried right here. I ain't going to lie. Us down one. I'm gonna be real with you. I was thinking this could go either way, especially when that pass got fumbled right there. But look at this shot right here, man. This shot is crazy. Like I said, that was just one of them times where it was just Otega's night, man. Like it was just meant for Otega to do what he did, and he just wasn't gonna be denied, man. And then he ends up with the block right there, because they still had a shot right there. So even after that play, we still, we still had to make a defensive stop right there, because that dude got pretty deep in the lane, and he potentially could have scored that ball. So it's not like he was throwing up a half court shot or nothing. He got all the way in the lane, so that could have went. We could have went home. It could have been an ugly ending to that game, but fortunately for us, like I said, we got the W. We needed that one. That would have been an ugly loss for us at this point in the season. Like I said, I think the committee is going to give us a pass for Alabama. They probably will give us a pass if we get beat by Auburn, but they're going to expect us to get Oklahoma and LSU and potentially Missouri. Missouri's kind of, I feel like it could go either way with Missouri, and we could be all right. If we lose it or we win, I think it won't hurt our help too much. But we have to get this LSU one, though, because that's one that we're going to be expected to win, and we need that on the resume. We can't have that loss on there right now. But like I said, I feel like tonight was a success for the most part. I know Jackson Robinson did aggravate his hand, but I don't know if it was too bad to the point where he probably have to sit out against Auburn. He might be able to go. Look like they just iced it up, so maybe he might have just banged it up. It might have been a little swollen, but hopefully he'd be ready to go. Like I said, it was, knock on wood, nothing happened to Lamont, and Lamont just makes things easier for us. Lamont just, the way he guards the basketball, it helps some of the other guys. The way he attacks the rim, he usually going to score or get fouled, or he's going to draw enough defenders that's going to help get some guys some looks. So Lamont Butler is just, he's just a vital piece to what we do. We need him on the court to be successful. I'll feel more confident if he does play against Auburn, especially if he can get 20 minutes. If he can get half the game in, that'll be a big plus for us. If he could go 30 minutes, that would be great. But right now, like I said, we just gotta take our small victories as we can to finish out this season. So we did end up getting the road victory, and like I said, knock on wood, nobody, there was no serious setbacks as far as the injuries are concerned. We already explained it. We're not going to be fully healthy. These guys probably need surgeries, several of them. But right now we just can't afford, to have surgeries. Guys' college career is going to be over. So we got to try to maintain and get in the tournament, man. But anyways, I'm going to wrap it up right there. You guys let me know how you feel about this victory. I was definitely satisfied, even though we didn't play our greatest game. I still was satisfied enough. And on to the next one. Like I said, we got to try to lock this LSU win up for sure, to try to get as good of a seed as we can. But you guys let me know what you think about it in the comment section, and we'll get back at it next time. Sports and Discourse with Derek Stevenson.